Hey guys, welcome to Mail Monday, a weekly series that's not so much about the gameplay, but instead is about your questions and my answers to them. Let's do this. Hey Woody, don't worry, this isn't about sex, it's about life, so here we go. I'm Emma, and I'm 20, and I'm with a girl who is 19, and I love her with my whole heart, and I want to make her my wife. But her family hates the fact that we're together, because in their eyes, it's not God's way. But she loves her family, and I don't want her to ask her to marry me, when it might split up her family and hurt her. Please help. A reply would be fine. It doesn't have to be on Mail Monday. Just please help. Love the videos. Oh my gosh. So many jokes. First of all, we have a lesbian marriage here, and you think that we're concerned that this letter might be about sex? We're all hoping the letter's about sex. We're thoroughly disappointed that it's not. Second, we have two women in a lesbian relationship, and there's not a period to be found in the whole letter. You should have a surplus of them. But, let's get on to the more serious stuff. Alright, if you ignore the part about you both being women, this is really a common story. You have two things here. One partner's all signed up and ready to charge ahead with marriage a little bit before the other. And two, no one's ever quite good enough for daddy's little girl. Those are the two key issues that you brought up in your mail. And because these are so common, the formula for solving them is also well known. Now, on the first one, one being ready to charge into marriage before the other, just keep dating. You're not losing a thing on this. I hate it when I see these proposals at, the basketball game in front of 50,000 people or 30,000 people, in hopes that kind of crowd, that kind of pressure will make the other one say yes, whereas a more low-key scenario might not do the same thing. That's ludicrous to me. The notion that you're making a Hail Mary pass on getting someone to accept a proposal is not on target for me. You should be so certain that when you propose this thing, her saying yes is just a formality, just a sort of, celebration, not a big question, not this big risk that you're taking by putting the proposal out there, wondering how it's going to go. No. Have this thing on lockdown before you even start. The other thing, not quite being good enough for daddy's little girl. And look, I'll admit that it's a little extra complicated because there's the whole religion thing in there. But at a high level, the problem that we're solving is about the same. No one's good enough for daddy's little girl. The solution is to spend enough time with her and, gain enough devotion from her that she's not going to change her mind. That, she's going to pick you and say, look, this is the person that makes me happy, and you guys have to be okay with it if my happiness is critical to you. That's eventually how this is going to go. If she's wired to be gay, she's going to be picking some woman as her wife, and dad's eventually going to have to come to terms with this. As a side note, if you plan on having kids, me as a dad, that would be something that makes it easier for me to understand and get behind. I don't really have a problem with gay things, but what I'm trying to say is, if Hope turned out gay and she still wanted to be a mother, that would be that's my only concern with her being gay. I want grandkids. So if that's on the radar, then that's something that you could tell them. So I was looking at the questions that I had picked out for this week, and I realized I almost went 2 or 3 weeks in a row without a sex or anatomy question. And here on Mail Monday, we don't play that. So here we go. I just turned 13 2 months ago, and for some reason my friend asked me how big my penis is. So instead of telling him, I asked him the same question. He's the same age as me, and he said 6.5, almost 7 inches. So later that night, I measured my penis, and I looked up the average length on the internet. I feel like my penis is too small, because the average is 4 to 6.5, and mine is only 3.5. So my question is my penis too small for my age? Alright, this is a pretty common question, actually. So 13-year-olds of the world, please stop talking to me about your penis, but I'll answer it anyway. Here's the deal. Some guys develop a little earlier than others. I was a late bloomer. That's just how I was built. And at 13, I think I was rocking some sort of newborn's penis. It was nothing to write home about. It was actually a little bigger than that. But I'll tell you a story. So I was a bad kid. I think I've talked about that before. And I guess it was 12. I went drinking. We broke into this guy's house, and we got alcohol, and we had like gotten girls from 7th grade to go and do it with us. So my buddy and I, and maybe one more, and 2 or 3 girls, all were like, drinking stolen alcohol and doing our stuff. And I got this girl to touch me downstairs. Anyway, like a week later, they asked her how big it was. And I was sweating bullets because I knew that my, 12, 13-year-old unit was not anything to like brag about. It's just still going, at that age, it's way too early to judge yourself on how big it is. And when she said it was medium, I was so happy. I was like, medium? Damn, I'll take that. That's, that's all I need. But I'm not embarrassed of medium. It's a win for me. That was a huge win when this girl said it was medium. Now, the truth is, I was probably the first one that she touched, right? We were young. She didn't have like a whole host of penises to compare. But, when she shrugged her shoulders and said medium, that was a damn good day. So, the question you have, 3.5 inches at 13, dude, my answer is at 13, you have no idea whether you're going to grow up and be a unexceptional gamer and exceptional cervix pounder, or whether you're going to actually have a small penis as you age. But, the other thing to keep in mind is your friend is lying. If he's 13 and he says he has a nearly 7-inch unit, bullshit. That's not even true. So, keep that in mind. Your friend lies. And I just wanted to add this too. All your friends will be lying about this for perhaps the rest of your life, and you can lie too. So the next time your friend asks you and tells you he has a 7-inch unit, you can tell him yours is 8, and that, or it's like a baby's forearm or something outrageous like that. Everybody has free will to lie about their penis size. It's just a man rule. All right, now a deeper question. Hey Woody, whenever me and my girlfriend hang out, it's always a great time. We get along great, and we both truly care about each other. Previous to our relationship, she was with another guy for about 9 months. I can't help but feel that whatever me and her do, they already did. Just the other day, we were cuddling in her bed, and I got this image of her and her ex doing the same thing not too long ago. And when I told her about it, it just made it worse, and I was on the verge of breaking up with her. Once I calmed down, I told her to never mention him again, and everything was fine again. I just want to point out, you're the one that mentioned him. Any advice to avoid another event like this? Any reply is greatly appreciated. Keep up the great work. All right. In case you didn't know this already, you're in the wrong here. It seems like what you're saying is that because you're not her first boyfriend, that, suddenly she's in trouble, right? Like she's done something wrong by having a boyfriend before you, and you are going to have to get over this. That's how this goes. Think about the rest of your dating life. When you go to college, is your expectation that you're going to be that girlfriend's first boyfriend also? Is your expectation that you're going to meet someone at 22 years old and she'll have never cuddled before? Like, that's what you're going for? This is unreasonable. This is not okay. What you actually have to do is start understanding that girls have value even if you're not the first person they've ever cuddled. That's the deal. It sounds like you really like her. It sounds like you guys have a fantastic time when you're together, right? You say we hang out and it's always great. This is the basis of a successful relationship. But you are kind of sabotaging it by taking your mind into places that make you unhappy. And that's the behavior that you need to rectify. As for how to fix it, I'll give you a little slack, because I'm kind of wired the same way. I'm a jealous type. I'm not a sharer when it comes to girls. I don't do that. They're mine. They're all mine. No more. And no, my wife I'm talking about. Not all girls are all mine. But that's how I'm wired, and it sounds like you are too. So I get that. I see where you're coming from. I'm cool with that. But, you also need to sort of understand that, while you may not have her past, you have her current, you have her heart, you have, what really matters here, right? You have her allegiance today. So, I want you to value that over her past. I want you to value the fact that she loves you right now over the fact that, she may have cared for somebody else at one point in her life. And when you get there, when you have that, then you'll be mature enough. Then you'll be equipped. Then you'll be ready to handle a successful relationship. Whereas today, it's, you're sabotaging yourself from making this thing as good as it could be. I'm a sophomore in high school, and I live in LA. For you international guys, he's 15 or 16 years old and from California. I have two problems. The most important of them has to do with porn and masturbating. I watch porn and masturbate. But after I do, I feel kind of guilty, and I promise myself that I'll stop. And then I feel the urge to do it, and I do it again. The cycle continues. Is it wrong to masturbate? My second issue is about driving. My dad will get me a license and buy me a car, but the only problem is he wants me to drive a car that's around $1,500. This is not that we're financially unstable, it's just him. All my friends have fancy cars like Audi and such, but he expects me to drive a 2001 Honda. Is there any way to convince him? All right, quickly. On the is it wrong to masturbate thing, I see this question and I feel like I'm talking to a VCR, like I'm dealing with a VHS tape here. And I look at you and I say, what? They still make you? I thought you were obsolete decades ago. I thought we were past this and we're on to Blu-rays now. You're fine. Do what you want by yourself, not hurting anybody else. You're fine there. Now, if you're looking at porn while you do this, I will caution you. Some of the things you're finding online are meant for a fantasy life. They're meant for you to imagine, but they're not necessarily the basis of a healthy sex life. They're not necessarily something that you should be doing, with your real life girlfriend or wife or any of those things. For some people that's a win, but I want you to keep in mind that if you're into, crazy unicorn involvement or whatever, then you're going to seriously limit the amount of people who think that you're doing it right. On the car thing, and I hate to be the dad here, but I kind of line up with him. I had a fairly nice car when I was 17, and it was gone 2 months later because I totaled it. It was stupid. I discovered, though, by living through high school, something you're still in the process of doing, that it really wasn't the car that made you cool, unless it was super out there. And some guys had like $60,000 cars that would catch people's attention. But mostly, it was you that made you cool. People with station wagons, calling them the shaggin' wagon, acting like it's the party mobile, the fun bus, or whatever, were every bit as cool and like interesting to hang out with and spend time with as the guys that had actually expensive cars. That's all there is. If you sit there and rock what you get with confidence and say, yeah, this is my ride, and there's a back seat, sweetie, then you'll be fine. I wouldn't try to use your car to get you status. You can get status just by being self-confident. All right, if you're new around here, you can subscribe by clicking the blue box in the top right. If you're not new around here and you like the video, then you can click like. I always appreciate it when you hit like. Two vids you may have missed. The left one was a Mail Monday question that didn't make it in because it's about me, and Mail Monday is supposed to be about you. And the right one is a custom controller for my broken hand. A lot of guys asked about it, so I sort of explained how it works and what it does for me and how I play with my cast on. So check those out and have a good day.